Welcome to the Sims History Channel, where we run historical experiments on Sims because running them on humans is illegal. Previously, we built a village that approximated French living conditions circa 1620, created 4 completely random Sims of each sex, and married them to each other in random order. This was to simulate arranged marriages. We installed them in the aforesaid village, and, after the Sims had experimented with all the ways they could set themselves on fire, settled them down to a life of farming, which all but one of them hated. Once they were earning enough to pay their taxes, we took them out for a holiday on the Feast of St. Leo and started working on getting the wives pregnant. In this episode, we're going to convert the interior of a beautiful house to something suitably 1600s style while we watch Louis XIV and his childhood family wander through the interior. Simmer Jane Jeffries built and furnished this lot and uploaded it to the Sims 4 gallery, so any of you who have the Sims 4 base game can put it in your own lot. I've also uploaded the revised version you see here under hashtag Jane Jeffries and hashtag Professor Lilith. There's a lot of custom content in my revision, so be sure to use the advanced search and check the custom content box if you want to download that one. As you can see, Jane Jeffries has put an awful lot of thought into this interior. But since they updated it for contemporary living, it isn't very much in the style of 17th century Baroque. So I'm going to walk you through the changes I've made. First, we'll walk through the original furnishings, and I'll explain what things I'm replacing and why, and then we'll watch Queen Anne, her sons, and her regent wander through the house, and we'll reflect on how the substitutions impact the overall decor. The first thing I took out is the breakfast bar, because Baroque period kings and queens did not sit around the counter watching each other or their employees cook. The grandfather clock, on the other hand, can stay, because mechanical clocks were a recent invention, and large ones were prized as evidence that the owners were not only scientifically enlightened, but also possessed exquisite taste. Unfortunately, the wallpapers and these stuffed toys have got to go. In fact, since Louis has a whole bunch of little trains and things in his room in this current version, almost all of his toys have to go. Now we can see Queen Anne, Louis XIV, Philippe, and Cardinal Mazarin all going together into the house. Anne's wardrobe in this video comes from Chiara24 and Nikova. Mazarin's tights are from Athlyptt, and his goatee, like most of the facial hair I'm using in this set of experiments, is from Necrodog. As we go through the first floor, you'll see that I've replaced the ground floor tiles with a patterned tile, which is more typical of the period. All the rugs throughout have been replaced with Oriental Rugs by Christina 51 and Iron Leo 1978. Oriental rugs were extremely popular in the 17th century. They were coming from newly conquered areas in the east and areas that they were starting to trade with. People were very proud of them. They were exotic and they were expensive. You see them all over the floors. You see them sitting on tables the way we would use tablecloths. They are a mainstay of Baroque-era interior decorating, and no Oriental rug is out of place. If you look closely, you may notice that I've added fabric to most of the window treatments. This is my attempt to reproduce the Baroque and Renaissance traditions of hanging tapestries from just above a layer of wainscoting. Sometimes that wainscoting would be done in wood, and sometimes in painted trompe l'oeil, sometimes it would be in stone. And then the tapestry would itself be just below and a layer of elaborate trim just below the ceiling. This kept out drafts at the same time that it displayed the wealth of the family that owned the tapestries. Textiles were very expensive, and tapestries were the largest elaborate textiles used in home decor. Some of the wealthiest families had tapestries that would be as much as 10 or 11 feet long. So, since the tapestry is supposed to hang between the trim molding and the wainscoting, you can understand why I've replaced all the original paints and wallpapers with paneling. The division of space that it creates along the wall recreates the shape and proportion of Baroque wall treatments. Here you can see Louis and Philippe's bedroom and bath space. The toys and books along the back window have been replaced, of course. No trains for them. You can see I've added quite a few paintings of great masters, most of which are period, especially pictures of horses, because both boys loved to ride. Over Louis's bed upstairs I've put portraits of great men, all scientists, because I've got packets of scientist portraits from Iron Leo 78, 1978. And I put them in because Mazarin used to have Louis study the history of kings and military commanders. I've left the dollhouse because it is just barely period and I couldn't stand to take it away. In fact, what people used dollhouses for, or these things that look today like dollhouses, was actually as architectural design plans, but who can take away a dollhouse from a little kid? Certainly not somebody like me who's spending hours and hours playing with The Sims. So the dollhouse stayed. So here is the upstairs. That's Louis's room. You see Queen Anne and Mazarin hanging out together in this little bit of recording. And I've actually not changed very much in this. The furnishings are still the same as Jane Jeffrey put in, but I've removed some of it and I've replaced all of the pictures. So here you'll see Jules and Anna hanging out together, and you'll see all of these paintings that I've uploaded. They all come from Iron Leo 1978. And look at what a wonderful job he did with those. And look, Anne and Mazarin actually at that point just became good friends. And that seems like an appropriate place to stop the video for today. Once I've figured out how the new expansion pack and the March 26th update have impacted all the mods that I need to make this game run, I will be running some more sort of live experiments again. I'm really excited about the introduction of police, and I'm really excited about the introduction of disease. With police, I can send my Sims out poaching and have them be afraid of getting caught, and with disease, I can actually simulate plague, because, you know, we actually have quite a lot of disease in the 17th century. And, of course, I've got some babies that have been born that you need to be introduced to and watch attempt to grow up. We'll see if these Sims can keep their kids alive if they're living as peasants. Now, if you liked some of the pretty things that you saw in this video, I'd encourage you to go up to the Sims gallery or to go to modthesims.info and give some thanks to the people who created all the custom content and the house. Goodbye!